Now, it's not just health insurance that's a major problem. Car insurance is quickly becoming a huge problem as well, because car insurance premiums continue to climb, and premiums are at record levels right now and only projected to go higher. So I don't know how everybody's going to continue affording all of these increases on everything when people are not making the money, guys. I really don't. That's why I think the whole economy is completely crashing right now. A lot of people are seeing increases in their car insurance, even if you have a stellar driving record, even if you haven't changed cars, even if you have the same coverage, even if nothing has changed, you're likely seeing an increase right now. This is exactly what happened from one driver who moved from Atlanta to New York. He kept the same vehicle and policy, but his new premium was, get this, 3 times higher. That's right. Car insurance rate tripled for this guy. So this guy is earning about $50,000 a year, right around the median income worker in America. And he saw his monthly premium jump to $400 when he moved to close to New York City, which is not a huge surprise because I had the same thing happen to me when I moved from Illinois to Florida. It wasn't triple, but it was close to double. And when you move from an area that's kind of low risk when it comes to accidents and not too many things happening to a high risk area like South Florida or New York City, you are going to see your car insurance premium spike. That is a guarantee. But the problem is that $400 a month car insurance premium is 10% of this guy's income, okay, just to keep his car insured. And you wonder why there's so many people driving around without insurance because they likely can't afford it. So now he's at a point where he's debating about giving up his car entirely, and a lot of other people are looking at making that same hard choice as well. And if you live in a walkable area like New York City, I don't see why not, right? You can easily get rid of it. Even in Miami Beach where I live, I could see easily being able to live without a car over there, as long as you can consolidate your trips to like the grocery store and stuff. If you're going to rent a car for the day or use Uber or public transportation, you can easily limit your need for one. You can ride your bike pretty much the rest of the time over there. But to give you an idea of how bad this is, or you probably already know since you've likely been affected by this like I have, according to the BLS, car insurance has gone up 50% in the past 5 years. And where you live massively depends on how much you're going to pay. In Vermont, for example, the average driver only pays around $900 a year, but in Florida, it's more like $3,000 a year. And I'm lucky enough where mine's actually lower than that, but knock on wood, hopefully it's going to continue that way. But now in New York, it's actually worse than Florida, and the average cost is around $4,000 for full coverage, making it the most expensive state in America now for car insurance. And even if you have a stellar driving record and a very safe new car with all kinds of safety features, that's not going to be enough to save you from getting a massive hike in car insurance today. And that's because these insurance companies base their rates on population density, accident rates, the weather, local repair costs, and of course, crime, break-ins, vehicle damage. We saw, earlier this year, a lot of people were damaging Teslas because they don't agree with what Elon Musk has to say or what he's doing. And that was causing insurance rates to spike in areas where those things were happening as well. Of course, the insurance companies also use natural disasters as one of their excuses of why insurance rates always go up. I'm so sick of hearing that one, especially as insurance companies continue to post record profits year after year. Clearly, they can afford to lose some of those profits. But the problem is, when you are a corporation, you are legally beholden to your shareholders, and you are obligated by law to increase your profits year after year. If you don't do that, you're essentially breaking the law and breaking the agreement you have with your shareholders. Now, even though cars today are more advanced than they were in the past, that technical advancement and extra safety features does come at a cost, okay? Because if you damage a bumper now, you're not just replacing a piece of plastic like in the past, you're recalibrating sensors. It's now a $2,000 repair to replace a damaged bumper. That means fender bender accidents can also mean thousands of dollars in repair bills on a modern car. And when you combine that with inflation and healthcare expenses, like we just talked about, car parts, and the cost of the new parts for these cars, the insurance payouts have to be higher, which is kind of a legitimate excuse to raise your premium. Obviously, they are a for-profit business and they deserve to make a profit, but I wouldn't say record-breaking profits while squeezing people dry. Now, most states require insurance companies to have approval before raising rates, but the rules vary pretty substantially. Like in Michigan and Georgia, they have strict prior approval systems, meaning that companies must get permission before increasing premiums. But other states like Louisiana have dropped those requirements altogether because they're telling us that regulators often rubber stamp the rate hikes without any scrutiny at all, so it doesn't really matter. And I can definitely see that as being truth in a lot of places. A lot of regulators also argue that too much regulation slows them down and can make these companies leave the state altogether, which is something we saw happen a lot in Florida over the past 5 years or so. And then in a lot of states, for example, you have the no-fault laws that require insurance companies to cover your medical bills no matter who caused the accident. And that might sound fair, but it drives up premiums. And Michigan, for instance, used to require unlimited lifetime coverage for medical care after crashes, which made it one of the most expensive states in the country, which is kind of ridiculous when you think about it. And in Florida, we have sky-high car insurance premiums already. And recently, our governor, Ron DeSantis, actually vetoed a proposal to end no-fault coverage, arguing it would trigger even more lawsuits. So, I don't know, guys. You never know either with these politicians, like where they have their hands in the money pot and who's getting paid to do certain things and continue the insurance scam from going forward. You know what I mean? And right now, the average new car costs about $50,000, and the average collision claim costs about $6,500, and the average injury claim is more than $26,000. And the rising repair and medical costs flow straight into your premium. And the lawsuits and the lawyers also make this a bigger problem as well. Because every time somebody gets in an accident these days, right away, they're incentivized to call the attorneys and try to sue and get as much money as possible, which raises everybody's premiums. The industry experts say that the best way to bring costs down isn't going to be through insurance regulation, but through safety. They're talking improving traffic safety, fewer accidents means fewer claims, and lower costs overall. They're talking about having stricter speed limits and safer roads and better driver education. Those could all help reduce rates in the long run. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that stuff. I just think people are more distracted than ever, and people don't care. Like, you see the way some people drive? I mean, it's like they literally don't care if they get in a crash or not. They have no regard of whether or not it happens. It's almost like they hope it happens, and a lot of times people are hoping it happens these days so they can, say it was your fault and sue you and try to get a payout. There's so many scammers out there who are doing that now.